Namo Adita Pha. Thanks so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fourth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and to relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I'm determined to speak truthfully with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I will not spread news I do not know to be certain, and will not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause the family or the community to break. I'm determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. We're reading Beginning Our Day, Volume 2 by the monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery for our Dharma lesson. Today we're reading the first part of Perceiving the Unbeautiful by Ajahn Yatiko. Yesterday, Lungpo Basano spoke on the theme of Asubha Kamatana, contemplating the unbeautiful. This topic can be embarrassing for Westerners to talk about because it seems like such a foreign and strange concept, deeply personal and almost taboo. Why do we contemplate the unbeautiful? The answer isn't immediately obvious, but if we look at this question in terms of our own experience, we begin to see its benefit in our practice. There's a strong tendency to judge and slap a perception on everything we experience, and it could be said that whatever we experience is filtered through these perceptions. In particular, we habitually distinguish objects as either beautiful or unbeautiful. There's something within us that creates this perception, but in fact, it's merely a perception, not the ultimate truth of things. We can perceive anything in the world as being beautiful or unbeautiful, depending on the way we've been conditioned to look at it. But when we look at the body, we almost always see it as beautiful and ignore its unbeautiful features. That's our default bias. There is a deeply ingrained tendency toward creating and perceiving the beautiful in the body. We become attached to the beautiful, worry and fight about it, and become distressed when we lose it. We all have raga tanha, sensual desire, as part of our being. If our parents didn't have raga tanha, we wouldn't be here. When sensual desire is present, we want to perceive the beautiful in the body. When it's not present, the body doesn't seem so beautiful anymore. It doesn't appeal to us in the same way. We're no longer in the grip of a desire that can lead to painful mind states and regrettable behavior. This is where Asubha practice comes in. When we start thinking about what comprises the human body, bones, sinews, blood, intestines, undigested food, the heart, the whole of it, we may come to realize that these objects have an unattractive quality to them. When left to our own devices, we tend to only focus on the thin layer of skin that wraps around these unattractive objects, ignoring everything else. Or we convince ourselves that the skin is of a different nature than the rest of the body. But how could that be so? How could the skin be of a different nature? The unbeautiful quality of skin and of what it contains are exactly the same. But because we've created a fixed perception that the skin is beautiful, we see it in that way. The fact is, nothing in the world is inherently beautiful or ugly. These are merely qualities we create and project onto the world. We can create an entire universe of perceptions around the beautiful and the ugly. which then dictate to us what we want or don't want. It becomes a heavy experience, a heavy reality, which is completely unnecessary. Asubha practice can help liberate us from this tyranny of entrenched perceptions. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Adida Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.